Alright folks, here's the final 5 tips for using Adobe Premiere Elements version 13. First tip here, or I should say tip number 11 here, is using the page up, page down to move the cursor to the start or end of the clip. Here's my video here of a local track meet, and while I can move my cursor back and forth to the start and the ends, if you want to make a very precise, quick way to do it, just hit the page up or the page down, and it gets you the very beginning of each of these clips. Tip number 12. Why did I page up and page down? Because you can easily add a default transition with Control D. If you're lazy like me and you like to use hotkeys, here's a fast way of adding these transitions. First, go to your transitions, find your favorite one like dip to white, and set selected as default transition. Then what you do is page down to your timeline, hit Control D, page down, Control D, page down, Control D, and do this all day long until you get all of your transitions in your video. Now, having a white is pretty boring. You might want to change that up, so you just change your default transition and repeat the process. Now, just like that, I add this little flash of white between my clips. Tip number 13, if you want to zoom into a very precise point in your timeline, use the left and right arrow keys. So what does that look like? Page up to get to the beginning, and the right arrow key to go frame by frame to see that transition happen. It's also very useful if you want to go to a very specific spot, like where somebody's about to throw a javelin or about to speak, and you really want to capture that right spot where they're doing their high five. You can dial in with very easily with the arrow keys. Then you can use your clip tool to cut the track. Not sure if you knew this one, but you can easily add do tracks automatically by dragging videos to the dead zone. What do I mean by this dead zone? Is this space up in here where you can't do anything. You can't right click, you can't click, you can't do anything. You could right click down here on an actual track and add tracks. Or if you want to add something like, I don't know, just add a cute little video here, and we'll drag that right to this little, what I call the dead zone, and it adds a new video and audio track for me. Now, a big use of adding tracks automatically is something called an adjustment layer. How many times has your white balance been messed up across all of your tracks, or you want to add an effect across all of your tracks? Here's how you can do that. The white balance here is not bad, but it's kind of boring without some flashing lights to snazzy things up. So what I'm going to do is on my project assets, I'm going to go to this little drop-down list. I'm going to go to new item. I'm going to add an adjustment layer. Then I'm going to drag that adjustment layer to, you guessed it, this little dead zone here, not there. And then we will drag this to the entire length of the video. Then whatever adjustments I applied to that adjustment layer applies to all of these clips. So for example, if I go to my adjust, and I change something like, I don't know, lighting, and let's just go ahead and hit the little more. I can change the brightness up or down across all of my clips. Now, a little trick that I like to do here, let me expand this just a little bit. I'm going to activate my little stopwatch. I'm going to change the brightness to back to normal, wherever that was. And I'm going to put a little marker in here to remember that. Another one to remember it here. And then one in the middle, a very loud, obnoxious, kind of a bright light. So it's going to add like a little flash effect to my video. Now, this might look cool, you might not like it, it's really up to you. But one thing that you can do to help expedite adding more of those things, if I could get Adobe to stop closing windows down on me, is zoom out a bit. Sorry, wrong way. We're going to Control C, move my cursor over, Control V, move my cursor over, Control V, and keep doing that to get all these little flashy lights all in my video wherever I want them. So it gives you kind of a flashy poppy effect like some flashes are going off. Now, whether you like that or not, it's up to you, but that's what you could use with the adjustment layer. Again, I could use this for adjusting color balances. I could use this for adjusting lights like I'm showing here, vignettes, just a million things. And the key thing is it applies this to all of your videos. Well, if you watched all 3 of my videos, I just gave you 15 very cool tips in using Adobe Premiere Elements. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something, and if you did, how about a thumbs up?